Hey everybody, Dan with Pain Free You. So I'm down in Florida in my girlfriend's backyard and just figured I would shoot a video for you for today. Today's video topic is going to be permission to feel. Before we start that, I'm just going to take a couple of deep breaths. Get yourself grounded. Breathe in the stress, or breathe out the... Sorry, I messed that up. Breathe in the calm, breathe out the stress, breathe in the confidence, breathe out the fear. Okay, so this video is going to be about permission to feel. And as I mentioned in yesterday's video, I believe a lot of the physical pain in this, in this TMS community comes from our resistance to our emotions, right? And, Sarno said it was a distraction to keep us from our overwhelming, scary, dark, and dangerous emotions. But in general, resistance. I've talked about how the conflict between what we really feel and what we think we should feel is also in play here. And I believe that sincerely. We have very strong emotions towards people that we love and we care about, and we should treat nicely and think nicely of. Family members are often right in that category, partners, friends, and heard lots of stories and have some personal experience on strong emotions towards people that I care about. And because that feels uncomfortable, we have a tendency to push that away and resist it. And that conflict or resistance is what I believe plays a strong part. This can happen at the conscious level, but there's also, as Sarno pointed out, a lot of unconscious emotions, things that get automatically repressed. We don't get angry because we've decided when we were 6 years old we never want to be like, in my case, my angry father. And so permission to feel is all about just realizing that regardless of our judgments or self-judgments, judgments from other people, that we're not allowed to feel certain ways or don't know, but we oftentimes feel like I shouldn't feel that way. And as a result, we resist it, we push it away, we sometimes automatically repress it. And permission to feel is all about just saying, I'm a normal human being. I'm allowed to feel certain ways. Now, I will caution you, if you get stuck in the story of that emotion, you could stay stuck in the feeling or the emotion for a long, long time, and that's called holding on to grudges or resentments. And story mode, I think, can keep us stuck. But when it comes time to do this emotional discovery that I talk about so much, this daily practice of just giving yourself permission to feel, just allow. A lot of people are saying, but I don't know how to feel my emotions. So what I would suggest you do is take note of when you feel emotionally charged about something. I'm angry. Make a mental note of what that feels like, right? If you're feeling sad, make a mental note of what that feels like in our body and in our heart. Whatever emotions you experience on a regular basis, make a note of what that feels like. Where do you feel? Oh, I'm feeling angry. Oh, tighten my neck. My face is clenched. My fists are tight, right? And so people who say I don't really know how to feel, I say allow yourself to feel. This isn't work. It's not digging. It's not forced. You don't think your way into feeling. I think we can just literally say, right now, what am I feeling? And I could answer that sad or angry or in a rage, like I want to punch somebody. And then just allow yourself, give yourself permission to feel whatever it is you're feeling. We don't want to conjure this up out of the past. Boy, if I want to go back, I can remember this kid in my neighborhood who was a real jerk and used to pick on me, and if I wanted to, I could go back and remember those things and if I tried real hard, I could conjure up getting pissed off, but I don't think that stuff from way back when is, what's causing our pains now. Sometimes it's helpful to go back to what was going on at the time the symptoms started. Doing a little bit of analysis, what was going on, and connect the dots. Remember, I did that connect the dots video not too long ago, the past week or so. And so connecting the dots is important. And then, just throughout the day, if something pisses you off, next time you're alone in your head and your heart, just give yourself permission to allow that feeling to kind of wash over you. And what you'll probably notice is that by doing so, it will pass, right? Because if we push emotions away, they generally don't leave. They just accumulate, right? And they build up and they add up. And before you know it, you've got an accumulation of, seemingly weeks, months, years worth of anger built up. And as Sarno called it, we create this reservoir of rage. And it gets to the point where we're just carrying around so much anger or rage that we don't even remember what we're angry about. And it may not be one huge thing. It could be like, 50 tiny things. But when you add it all up and you resist it and you never allow yourself to feel any of it, boy, that emotional energy can really result in physical pain. Then we get fearful. We focus on the pain. We get anxious about it. We go to doctors, and either we get a solid diagnosis of here's the problem, or we get told I have no idea what the problem is, and we become more fearful of it, and before you know it, this pain has completely taken over our mental energy, our fear-based energy, and before you know it, Sarno's right, it does distract us completely from the emotions that were probably the underlying cause in the first place. Not even probably, they were the underlying cause. And so I guess if you think of accumulating emotions that we push away, it's just saying, I don't have time for that, and throwing it in a bucket in the basement, that bucket's going to get higher and higher and higher, and will eventually overspill. And when it overspills, it's threatening to burst into consciousness. And that's when the brain says, whoa, time out, symptoms are needed. So when I say give yourself permission to feel, and just throughout the day, if you feel in a certain emotion, just sit with it for a minute and say, right now, what am I feeling? Feeling stressed, uncertain, angry, whatever it may be. It's like you're going into that bucket in the basement and you're scooping out a couple heapings full of these emotions. And by doing so, you're ensuring that it's not going to overfill, overflow, and result in these symptoms. That's kind of my analogy for it. And some of us, we've been repressing and resisting and pushing away these emotions for so long that not only has the bucket in the basement overflowed, but the whole basement is full, and it's getting higher and higher and climbing up the stairs, and soon it's leaking under the door into the kitchen. And then we end up in a whole series of symptoms and a very, very freaked out mindset because we're so fearful of all these weird symptoms that are really tough to explain. And the doctors are saying, I have no idea what's going on. I can't find anything that would, explain what you're going through. And I will remind you, sometimes the only explanation that makes sense is TMS, mind-body syndrome, psychophysiological pain disorder, stress illness. Sometimes our nervous system's kind of going so haywire that the only thing that can explain it is TMS, and overactive nervous system that's really desperately trying to keep us from feeling our emotions. So when I say permission to feel, I mean give yourself permission. I can give you permission, but I can't do it for you. So as you wake up in the morning, or as you go through your day and you feel certain feelings, just say, it's normal, I'm human. In the privacy of your head and in your heart, give yourself permission to feel, and then allow it. Right? You don't have to pull it out. You just allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling. Whatever that is, right? And so give yourself permission to feel. You will find that is a really good, simple way of approaching this whole emotional discovery side of the TMS work, if you will, or TMS approach. Yeah, there's a lot more to it. It's knowing your will. It's accepting that you have TMS, but knowing about TMS, accepting you've got TMS. The emotional discovery is just one of the pillars that I talk about. Soothing yourself, both soothing your thinking and calming your thoughts, and not engaging in quite as many catastrophic, fearful thoughts about our futures, but also soothing our bodies with things like breathing. That's why I do that thing in the beginning of the videos, to just kind of settle things down. And then the whole mindset and focus, the mindset of really not caring, because we know we're good. We've already done the assessment. We know what TMS is. We accept that that's what's causing my symptoms. So I can literally make a decision, and it is a decision not to care if the symptoms are acting up today or not. Yeah, it's uncomfortable, massively uncomfortable, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're not safe or that you're broken. It just means that your nervous system is acting up today as a result of this whole mind-body process. And the last thing is focus, and I talk about moving your focus to other things but the pain, right? Because if we stare at the pain all day long, it's not going to go away. So in tomorrow's video, I think I'm going to shoot a video called The Language of Pain. And I'll probably shoot that after I hit the stop button here. But the language of pain, I've kind of touched on this in a couple of analogies, but I really want to talk specifically to it. So, permission to heal. Give yourself permission, not heal, feel. And by giving yourself permission to feel, you probably end up healing, right? But also make sure you don't skip the mindset of indifference and shifting your focus away from it as much as possible. And again, I do get a lot of comments from people who say, you know what, I had a really good day, and that's when I really just decided I'm not going to focus on it, I'm not going to freak out about it, and I'm just going to kind of go about my day, and the pain was better. But then it came back and kicked me in the ass. And, notice if that happens, if you've got the ups and downs. Notice the difference and pay attention to where your mindset was. And maybe even make a note of it. Hey, I had a pretty good day today. What was my mindset? What was my attitude about? Where was my focus, right? If you have a really bad day, notice, where was my focus? Where was my attention? Was I looking for the pain? And did it show up? And then did I freak out when it showed up? And did I start to get more and more despondent and desperate? And I got to fix this, and right? So pay attention to those things, because you're going to start to see a pattern between your good days, where your mindset was better, you cared less, you focused more on living life and connecting with others and doing other things, and bad days when all you do is kind of get wrapped up in the symptoms and feel bad about ourselves. So, permission to feel. Really want you to see if you can just allow yourself to feel whatever the hell you're feeling. Good, bad, ugly, all of it. Because that doesn't make you broken emotionally. It doesn't make you damaged. It doesn't mean you're going to fall into a fit of depression. It doesn't mean you are angry like your father or crazy like your aunt so-and-so. It just means you're a normal human being. And normal human beings are emotional beings. So allow yourself, give yourself permission to feel whatever it is you're feeling. Because if you can feel your emotions, you're not going to be throwing them in that bucket in the basement. They're not going to fill up, and overflow and cause the symptoms. And if you can do that in conjunction with soothing yourself, turning your stress level down, getting the mindset right, and not focusing and staring at the pain all the time, you're going to notice that your symptoms get better and better and better. And so when you start making some progress, take a note as to why. Where was your mindset, your focus? Did you get some good emotional discovery done? Or you're soothing yourself well? And you'll notice that you'll get better much faster than you think. So, love you guys and gals, and I will see you in the next video. I'll probably shoot it right from here. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.